Good morning, everybody. Cheers. Oh, messy floor. Oh well, probably should have cleaned it. I just would have moved the mess to somewhere else and then moved the mess back again, so it's fine. Hot coffee time. I just took some Panadol as well. Got a bit of a headache, so hopefully that will settle down. Hi, everyone. Oh, well, not many people. Hello. Not many concurrent viewers. That's okay. I think people just forgotten they used to stream. Probably YouTube not sending out any messages. Um, Serves me right for missing weeks. So I'm just rearranging some things on my desktop. How's everyone doing? Hope you're all well. Sorry about last week. Just busy time with client work. Got to do what you got to do. Got to pay the bills, which is what I'm doing. So yeah, there are just some weeks that I just can't take the day or the morning to stream. Last week I was on site, so there's just no way I could have streamed and got on site in time. We have either we've got some new people in chat or YouTube is stuffing out everyone's names again. So Plucky G. I'm not sure if that's someone that is normally here or not. Wow, Peter Homan is up early, and so is Matt, Pro Engineer. Wow. Good on you, folks. Let's talk about H2C. I've only just started watching a video this morning. It's not what I thought it was, so I'm not sure I'm overly excited. I'm halfway through Stefan's video. I was watching it at 1.25 speed this morning before the stream. I'm only up to the part where he sanded half of the induction nozzle in half to have a look inside. So, yeah, I mean, I don't care if there's spoilers. Feel free to chat about it, but I don't have much to say about it because I don't know really anything other than, yeah, it's not quite what I thought it was. Bit disappointing. I think no worries, Peter. It's a work day. I get it. Work day for everyone except for me. Yeah, it's not a full tool change. I knew it wasn't going to be a full tool changer because you could see from the original videos that it gets inserted in under, and you couldn't do that if there was filament sticking out the top. But the amount of time it takes still to load and unload the filament seems to be a bit of a spoiler. Although it seems to be at a price point that is still way cheaper than a 5 tool head Prusa XL. But there are other tool changes out now that are cheaper. So it's an interesting proposition. It's basically just for faster filament swapping. Yeah, I don't know. It's clearly faster from the bench tests that Stefan did, right? It's faster and less waste, way less waste than like an X1C. So if you didn't have an X1C, sure, it would maybe totally make sense if you want to do multicolored material. But if you already have a color changing system, you know, you're saving wastage and stuff, but it's not worth it for the money, I don't think. The Bondtech stuff looks like to be the most interesting of the tool changer stuff coming that is going to be a proper tool changer. I don't know. The was it the Ulti Maker, the Ulti whatever it was, that tool changer one? It's been reviewing pretty well. I almost backed it on Kickstarter, but I didn't. And it's actually been reviewing quite well as a multi-material printer. It's got some, issues, whatever. But yeah, I'm not really in the market for. I don't need it, right? So I'm not really in the market for another printer right now. But I was excited about the H2C. I didn't realize they still had two heads in there, like a normal one, and that I thought it was just going to be the tool changing head, or the nozzle changing head. So I thought that was interesting. Yeah, but I have to keep watching, and I want to watch um, Sandler's video as well. I got that queued up, so like I'll find out about it. But yeah, it's not as exciting as I thought it would be. I tell you what is exciting though is the that new CNC. Um, Again, almost backed it on Kickstarter twice now. Hey Bruce, no worries. The Nestworks one. So yeah, I didn't realize that that was the elephant guy. What do you call? What are they called? Jesus, Elephant Robotics. I didn't realize that was them. And I didn't realize how the so Scotty did a video, which I watched yesterday with them, and yeah, how the unit came about. Like they were making a unit for themselves, and it's pretty amazing. The Nestworks. Have you all seen it? About to describe, then realized I can't lift anything. Right. How funny. Have you all seen the Nestworks? The C500. Okay, we're gonna quickly look at this. This is pretty cool. $8.5 million is done so far. So it's just it's a desktop CNC, but with some pretty amazing features. So it's got firstly it's got a 5 tool changer in it. How much longer can't you live for? Crazy. So it's got like the built-in probing and stuff and whatever. Like it's got some really cool things, some cool features. It's got a camera. You can it can detect where your working area is and all sorts of things that you'd expect. Some really cool things that you get on a 3D printer. Some really cool things you get in some more advanced CNC machines, whatever. But the key thing about it, which is really interesting, they showed some of it working in the video Scotty did, is that they're trying to build a 2 or 3 click CNC thing. Like you drag your model in, within 3 clicks, the process is starting. What they're trying to do is remove the need for an engineer in the mid, like someone between their engineers who want to build their robots and the milling machine, the person that has to do all the tool the toolpath setups and blah blah blah. Not just the software, but the understanding of how to do it all. Right. So this does auto everything. Anyway, it's very cool and it's really reasonably priced. It's enclosed. It's got a fairly decent cutting area, but the 5 tool change is pretty cool. And it's got the 3D probing and it's got laser probing, and it works. And the people have been reviewing it, and apparently it's great. So I'm really tempted. I got 2 3D printers. I got 2 X1 carbons, right? And 50% of the time, both of them are sitting there idle, and then the other 50%, 25% of the time, only one's going, and very rarely have I got 2 going. Right? I only got the second one as a redundancy because my first one was playing up, which now it's not. It's been fixed. But also have my Milo mill downstairs, which is fine and it works. But yeah. Anyway, it's pretty cool. Anyone that's looking for a milling machine should check this out. I'm going to putting the Kickstarter link in here. Wow, that's a really big. How do I do with all the get rid of all this? There we go. For anyone that's interested, it looks pretty decent. Okay, that was all. Let's go back to here. So that's not how to focus in chat, so I'm just cleaning out my desktop now. Dutch Taurus, hello. Johnny, hi. Peter, if you're still around, hello. Antonio, hi. Matt, Pro Engineer, hello. Jisk Maker, hello. Jisk Maker. if you're normally someone else on here and it's just I apologize. I don't know half of your normal names. So, John Clayton, hello, John. Beata, hello. Plock Gigi, I think I said hi to, whoever that is. Amanda, hello, Amanda. Mr. England is here. Yes. Jeremy, hello. Fat Boys Aviation. Technubulus, hello. How are you? Haven't chatted for a while. X-Micron, hello. Bruce, we said hi to. Christian, hello, Christian. I think that is everyone in the list. Did I get everyone? I hope so. How many people? Or just people haven't popped in to say hi? Definitely more people viewing than there are in chat. Okay, so I'm going to get stuck into it. So this is actually, how was that? I did notice the Vortex upgrade for older machines. HGC Vortex upgrade for older machines. What? You'll be able to... Wait, I don't understand. I don't know what... Okay. I don't know what the Vortex upgrade is. Anyway, I'm not going to dig into it anymore. You guys can chat about it if you want. Yeah. Okay, I need to get going on this PCB design, which I've been dragging my feet on because I've been reinventing it in my head again. So I'm working on a test board for one of my clients for... There's many boards I now have designed and make for him, and none of them have test boards yet, like ways to test them other than me manually right now. And some of them are quite more complex and whatever, but all of them are beyond what my normal, test jigs. Oh, go on out. What my normal... I'm going to pull the tape out. These my test jigs here are designed to test, one of my boards at a time. This one here is for... This adapter here is for Tiny Pico Nanos or Nano S3s. It's got... can't really see the pins. Anyway, so... But what I need to do is still Raspberry Pi based, but it needs to be able to test 2 boards on a panel, but it needs to be able to test a lot more than what I test for, right? It's not just... Yeah. And so... And I've been trying to work out in my head how to get all this going on it, and I've been kind of dragging my feet because I've been testing the boards manually because we're still only doing pre-production right now, short run stuff, still on the production line, but, producing 20 or 30 at a time right now until we're ready to ramp up. So let me just switch over. There's not a lot to see right now. I've got a whole bunch of schematic stuff here, and some of it's not in the board at the moment. Some of it's going to get removed from the board. So originally my idea for this was, so so there's 2 boards being tested. I can't really talk about the boards, right? But suffice it to say that there are ESP32 S3s on them, plus a whole bunch of other peripherals and stuff. And so, and there are test points all over the boards, on each of them, 2 up on a panel. And ideally we want to, he's got test fixtures where with the acrylics, those, the boxes you can get with the pull down acrylic thing, whatever. And so we want to just literally, pull down and either auto detect or hit a button, Raspberry Pi based, but with a screen, but not a little screen like on mine, but a touch screen interface for it. Whatever, that's all fine. And everything will be kind of Pogo based coming off this controller board. So there'll be a controller board in... So you know what I mean by the test fixture? That's not what I wanted to do. Hang on. This one, test fixture for PCB. Yeah, so like these type of things. He's got, it's basically a built fixture where you drill holes. Can I get this picture bigger? Not really. You drill holes for where the pogo is going to go. Your board goes inside. clamps it down. You got a recess on the bottom where you can put all your electronics and stuff. Hey, Death Shaker, how you doing? And it's a text fixture, right? So the idea is to get a controller board down the bottom that goes out to via like a ribbon cable to a Raspberry Pi that sits on the outside with a screen, and test it that way. It's pretty standard stuff, right? But there were 2 boards to test, and then there was an issue of am I testing one at a time? Am I doing 2 test boards, one for each? Because this also has to scale, right? So we might end up with 3 of these test jigs for this particular board, but we also might use this testing board to test other things, but some of the other boards have other requirements for testing, not just there's a micro on there. It might be a completely different type of microcontroller. Like there's some boards that I'm making for him that are using MSP 430s still, right? So that they get flashed via a janky 2Y SPI interface, right? It can't be John's Testomatic, no. It's John's Testomatic is too complicated for what this needs to be. This needs to be quick and burnable and reproducible. Like we need to be able to get 20 fixtures going instantly, and you know what I mean. So yeah, like I know about John's stuff, but I've already got infrastructure here from a software point of view and testing point of view and everything else that I want to leverage, that does exactly what we need. And then there's also some other complexities, right? Like I need to be able to interface to, 10 of these little STM, oh, can't see the back, the little mini, STM mini J-Links, right? I need to be able to talk to 10 of these concurrently. And I need to be able to do things like switch power. Also, anyway, yeah, not looking. I mean, John's project is great, and he's tuning that for his stuff that he's working on. I know he's trying to make it generic, but it's right now it's not what I need. So okay, back to where my train of thought. Sorry, technicals. So originally, what I was going to do was have an ESP32 on this board, and the Pi would talk to the ESP32 on the board. The Pi would do the flashing of the devices under test, but the Raspberry Pi itself would not be doing all of the direct testing on those boards. The ESP32 S3 on the test board would do all the testing. But because there's quite a few things that need to be tested per board, there's a lot of peripherals, but we've also been optimizing the boards. So every time I get this thing close, we start optimizing and removing and changing. We've got a final design now for the boards being tested, and we've prototyped and validated those, which is great. But we've also, so like a really good example is the boards used to have a BLE module on them, because originally the boards, when they were first designed, not by me, before I redesigned them, they were running just a standard ESP32, right? So it had BLE 4, and or 4.2, whatever it was, and Wi-Fi, but you couldn't run them concurrently, not properly. But the S3 you can run BLE and Wi-Fi at the same time. They can coexist. And so the original design had a BLE, quite an expensive BLE module on it. And so it had a BLE and it had a complete power path to turn the BLE on and off. And then the BLE module itself needed, like, you communicated with it via UART, but there was also like 4 other IO that were required to go to it. There were certain reset sequences you need to use for it, and you needed to be able to flash the firmware on it as well. So the very complex system, but the ESP32 used to be able to get sent firmware to it for the BLE module that would then go to the BLE and flash the BLE module, right? Write firmware directly to it via the ESP32 via an external system, which I can't really talk about right now. And so there was like, 11 test points just for the BLE system on the board. That's not even there anymore because I got, when I was rewriting all the firmware, I got concurrent BLE and Wi-Fi going on the S3, and that BLE module's gone. All the power stuff's gone for it, and so all the test points are now gone. So I had a whole bunch of test points that I designed in this board and a whole bunch of flow of how it was going to happen, and it's just all been ripped out now. So every time I take a few steps forward on this design board, this testing board, the specs change, right? But the specs are now done. The board's been locked off. And so I can now think about how I'm going to do it. So before, there was never going to be enough I/O available to test all the things. There was like 40-something test points we needed to deal with per board. So that's 80 for two of them, right? And it was just getting really complex. And so it was easier to put an ESP32 S3 on the board and have that facilitate everything, right? Rather than trying to do it through Python, through UART, through whatever. But that's all changed now. And so what I'm planning to do instead is I'm going to take the S3 off the board, and I'm just going to have two USB ports with two serial UARTs where we're flashing the devices, even though they've got USB, like native USB, we're flashing them via UART. Fine, a reason for that, which I can go through later if someone reminds me. I've got to keep my train of thought going. So now what I want to do is just go back to the idea of using I/O expanders and have the Pi talk directly to their I/O expanders and have the actual devices, the devices under test themselves. Because a lot of the functionality that they need to test that we do have test points for, we don't need, because when I redesigned the boards, I implemented the ability for them to be able to know themselves if these things are working or not. So like these boards have got their own 5-volt sense and their own VBAT sense and their own ability to know if any of the other 3.3 volt rails that they powered up, because there's different rails on there, are powered up or not. And so it's silly to not use that on the board. So we just flash testing firmware onto these devices, have them 80% self-test, the other 20% that they can't self-test, we have test points for, right? And then when it's all good, we then flash the official firmware on them and the board comes off, right? And so it's actually really simplified everything dramatically. But these changes only happened about a week ago, or these changes only got locked off about a week ago. And so I've got this board in all these different various states. Like I even started, I had an almost routed board with the S3. These are a surface mount. I've got some here. These are surface mount, like 2.54 millimeter, really nice Wago connectors. Now let me just go back to here. So these are the push in and and then push the tab to get them out connectors, instead of using things like DuPont. And I didn't want to do screw terminals, like hand soldering stuff, whatever. And so this will allow plug-in DuPont wires that go out to test points along the way, but without having to rely on wiggly wire, connections or whatever. So that's what they are. But the requirements have evolved again a little bit anyway, because what I need to do now is, I just stuck this here. I actually need to put a couple of these INA 260s on, or I've chosen INA 260 for doing, I don't need voltage checking, I need current checking. So the devices that we're testing have very fast battery charging ICs on them. So they have a it's like a 5 volt. It's not quite a load switch, but it's like it's a load. It's a switching load switch battery charging chip from TI that obviously if 5 volts is present, it uses 5 volts, and if 5 volt isn't present, it uses the battery, and it does that automatically in this chip. But it's also a battery charging chip, and they've been set to charge at around 850 to 900 milliamps because they're quite a large battery inside. So technically I'm going to have 2 amps going to the batteries, and I need to know the only way I can check that the battery's charging. So I can check that the battery's present with the battery voltage, right, to an ADC, no problem. And I can check that 5 volts is present, and I can maybe check that the battery's charging just by monitoring the voltage without doing current sensing, but I need to know that the battery charge IC is functioning correctly. It's got like a stack of resistors and stuff on there to set it all up. And the only way I can do that is to measure the actual current. But I also need to check that everything works on battery without 5 volts and so forth. So at the moment, I've got a 5 volt switch. I can turn 5 volts on and off. And this was when it was going to be for one board only. So 5 volts on and off, and I can also turn the battery on and off. So the idea is I'll duplicate that, so there'll be 2 paths out. And so I'll have like a DC barrel jack for 5 volts coming in, 5 volts, 2 amps, or 3 amps, whatever. So I can't use the USB path for the 5 volts to go to the boards under test because I can't draw enough current through that for the battery charging. So the idea is I can turn each device on or off with one of these load switches that also do short detection. So it'll instantly shut down if there's any type of short when it powers up. Have the battery off, and then I can do some tests, and then I can enable the battery, and I can then check the charge rate, make sure that's right. And then when that's good, I can then turn off the 5 volts while the battery's still on, and I can check that I can still communicate with the board. I'm still getting 3.3 volts out of the test points on the regulators, and then I know the battery's working as well as charging, and then I can turn the 5 volts back on, turn the battery back off, right? Stuff like that. So, and that's going to happen. So I need to duplicate those things, and I'm going to control them directly now from the Raspberry Pi because I don't have as many things I need to be checking now per board, because a lot of the stuff they can check themselves, but I'm going to do them through IO expanders. So there's only 2 things on the board that are going to be higher than 3.3 volts, so I need to check, and I just need to put a divider on them. So I don't need an ADC to check if, for instance, the battery voltage is good or not, because I just need a high or a low state. But the device itself already knows how to read the battery voltage. So I can just ask the device under test, what's the battery voltage, right? I don't have to, and I'll just communicate to them via serial. And the reason I'm doing UARTs is there'll be 2 fixed UARTs on the board, so there'll be fixed serial ports, and they won't ever change. If I use native USB on the ESP32S3, so every time I put a board down and I connect natively, so USB to native USB on the boards, when they enumerate, they'll have a different ID. I'll never know which one is which, and then every time I change it, there'll be a new ID again, and a new ID again, and a new ID again. And yes, you can use can't remember what it's called in Linux to kind of try to lock down the serial port enumeration, but that doesn't work with the native S3s, because I need to switch them between download mode and then their CDC mode when they're running, and they are 2 different. They will enumerate as 2 different things. You might be able to get download mode to always enumerate a certain way and the other way to go a certain way, but it's still going to be 2 different ones per board, and there's no guarantee which one's going to enumerate first and whatever, right? So 2 UARTs, when the thing powers up, there are 2 UARTs and they never change, right? Doesn't matter which port I put down, the Raspberry Pi sees the same serial ports to the UART every time. Yeah. So a lot of chopping and changing I'm going to do now. I was going to use my new the XL9555 IO expanders that I'm using on SQUIXL, but I've actually got a stack of 23017s here, and I've got like 30 something of them, and I've already got a library and all my code that works directly with them. And what I don't want to do is spend time writing device drivers for the Raspberry Pi for other chips, right? Oh, I had that problem. What problem? Beata? Oh, the reserialization. Yeah, it's a pain. Like, I get it on my test jigs. I've mostly solved it on my test jigs, mostly, but just randomly, occasionally, you know, when it re-enumerates, it'll come up as SDA2 instead of SDA1, or it'll come up as SDC1 instead of SDA1. So like 80% of the time, it will be fine, and then 10% of the time it'll change the number on SDA, and 10% of the time it'll be an SDC or an SD something else. You know what I mean? SDF. It's very frustrating that happens, and I've never found a way to 100% lock it down on the Pi. And so what I don't want to do is, you know, at worst, it won't be able to find which port to use. It's going to randomly have to search the, you know, port names or whatever. But even like the best case scenario still, even if it does change, is that I just won't know which device I'm testing, right? Like I could put it in and, you know, serial port 0 could be the left one and serial port 1 could be the right one, and I'm testing away and that's all fine. And then suddenly they're flipped and I didn't know, and one board fails and I think it's the left one because it was serial 0, but serial 0 is that one now. You know what I mean? I don't want that. So the easiest way is it enumerates, it's fine, it's fixed. 2 UARTs, I don't have to worry about it, right? Yeah. And even if I put it into download mode, the serial port doesn't change because I'm just using the TX and RX pins. Yeah. So I need to put them on, and so I don't need this. And I was originally looking at, instead of using 2 UARTs, using one with an IO mux. But then I can only test one board at a time. Serial number was byte swapped between the modes. It's an issue. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah. It's a frustrating thing. It's not a Raspberry Pi thing. It's just a Linux enumeration thing. Apparently it happens everywhere on any Linux. So I'm not going to mux it now because this is a high-speed mux. I can definitely do the USB stuff through it, but it's again, it means one board at a time, and I should be able to do 2 boards at a time with this system. Although I might do the power check one at a time because I don't know what load it's going to pull when I'm suddenly charging 2 batteries, like what inrush current and stuff's going to be. But I'm pretty confident that I can at least get the testing done both at the same time. So I'm going to need 2 of these. Actually, I should probably do the whole circuit first on that before I duplicate it. And then I don't think I'm going to need 2 IO expanders. I should be able to get away with just one. So I originally had, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I had 10. So I had 40 points that test points could go to. And now I'm down to these, and I'm sure, actually, yeah, I might. I'm gonna have to work out what I need. I might need 2 IO expanders.
Cian, chat has disconnected.
Okay. I wonder why it does that. Disconnects and then immediately reconnects again. So I'm going to need to duplicate these. So that's going to go. See you later, alligator. And I was using a module because I'm already using these modules on his boards. So I was just gonna, it's his stock, his parts, but I'm gonna get rid of that. And I don't need these now. And I do need 3.3 volt power. I'm just gonna move that out of the way. So USB, LED. Okay, so where are they from? Oh, okay. So let's move them away. I don't need those right now, but move them over here. So I'm going to need, because that's one USB, I'm going to have to duplicate that. So I'm just going to make, this is me just moving shit around and just getting stuff ready. So it'll be .1 bold big. Oh, not that big. Okay. I have to rename all of the traces, and then .2. Okay. So I'm going to need, these switching there, and I'm going to need a duplicate of them. So over here, I'm going to need, the current sensing there. I'll wire that up first. I've got an interface here for the Pi header. So I need to work out what I'm testing. So there's a GPS module on there. There's IMUs, Hall effect sensors, LEDs, all sorts of stuff. So that was going to be to control. These ones here are to control the 5 volts and battery. They can go directly to the Pi. I'm going to have a lot of. So the touchscreen. So it's going to be a Pi 5 with one of the new version 2 touchscreens that uses MIPI, but it still taps into the power on the header. I'm going to have to make an adapter board that also passes through. Maybe I won't. Maybe I don't need to pass 5 volts to the board. I'll probably pull the 5 volts for the regulator through the barrel jack. Oh, that's a good point. I'm going to need a barrel jack. Oh, what have I done? Must have deleted something. DC barrel jack. I don't know if the ones he's using are switched. Hang on, let me just see. I'm going to use the ones he's already using. They're really good, robust, high current ones. Hang on. I can't show you this because then you'll see who the client is and what the products are. Oh, I I don't know where this is going to pop up. Oh, good. Popped up in the right spot. Ah, except where's okay. I can't find the schematic symbol. Doesn't matter. Okay, for now I'm just going to use this barrel jack. Okay. Yeah, I have to go hunting. So all of his board files currently are in Altium. And so I've been converting them into KiCad. He wants me to use Altium, and I'm not gonna. Firstly, it's not available for the Mac, and I'm not going to run Parallels just so I can run Altium. He'll pay for the Altium, but I'm not going to. I don't want to learn another tool now, another thing. Yeah. So okay, I'm gonna anyway. 5 volts coming in. That'll go to a regulator to power these things. Okay, so I don't need that one. J6 can go. Bye. I need to check 3 volts and that 3 volts and those 3 volts. Probably I need to check. Probably need to check both of those, and I need to check those pins, and that one will affect those pins, and that. I don't need the 5 volt sense because it knows if it's got 5 volts or not. So I'm pretty sure I can get rid of that. And what was I using .enable for? Jesus. Oh, right. Should really call that reset. It's a reset pin. Okay, so there's going to be .1 TXO RX0 IO0 and reset, so I can get it into download mode. I can reset it. I can do whatever. So that's .1. I'm going to need this for .2. I can just actually, I don't know why, I still double click. I could just change it here. They're all just as hard to do. See, now I did .12. Okay. So that's for flashing and resetting. They go to test points. I don't know if I'm going to do those via one. .1 5 volts. You know, yeah, it's just gonna be a pain just to do all these, but gotta do it. And this is B.1 USB power .1. Be I'm going to change the order of these .1 D plus, .1 USB power, .1 D minus, .1 CC1, no, that was CC2, .1 CC1. Okay, and then copy, paste, paste, copy that, paste, copy that, paste. Okay. Now to do these, it's .2. Whatever. .2. .2 5 volts in. I did change that one, didn't I? Yeah. Sorry, lots of jumping around. I'm just copying and pasting. I just want to get this. Okay, .2. Okay, so now I've got, what was that other LED? Got LED here just to show that USB. Do I even need an LED there? Probably not. I don't need to know that a device is plugged in. No one's even going to see it. I can always not populate it. Okay, bit of a mess. I need to clean it all up. Okay, this is .2. .2. That's .2. .2. .2 5 volts in. 2 5 volts in. I think that was on each side of the I'm running out of space. I'll clean that up later. Okay, that's on each side of the power. So this will be .2, no, .1. Oh, whoops. .1, 5 volt power enable. .1 volt. .1. Isn't this fun, everyone? It's the best part about doing electronics. Whoa. No. much prefer spending time on a PCB than... You know what I should have done? I'm going to delete those. Finish renaming this and then reduplicate it. .1. I'm going to use the one battery though. Interesting. Am I using... No, I can't. I have to use 2 batteries. Damn. Okay. .1 VBAT in. Yeah. Plenty of batteries, that's fine. Okay. So .1 battery with enable, .1 battery in, .1 battery out, .1 I set for rate. I'm right now this I can also current limit on this chip, but I need a measure that can go the whole way. I can open this up. If I put a 5K1 here, I can bring this to, this will go up to 1.3 amps, no problem, which is plenty of headroom. I should just probably do that anyway. 5K1. 5100. So what is that? 680 divided by 5100. 1.3 amps. Let's put 1300 milliamps. Okay. Oops. Not 60. Okay, 1300 milliamps. Plenty of headroom. And so we've got dot in, 5 volts in, 5 volts in. Oh, that's out, 5 volts. Don't like the naming on this. Dot 1, 5 volt. This won't be dot 1, 5 volts in. This will just be external 5 volt in. Which will be here. I'm assuming it's that direction. Look at that. I've got mixed ground signal symbols. Hate that. Okay, and then this will also feed into here. I'm going to need lots of caps. Lots of caps. In fact, I should do this now. It's going to be 22 microfarad. That's going to be a 1210. One, two, three. Will 3 be enough? Let's put 4 just for good measure. Why is that not? Okay. Lots of capacitance at the start. Then we've got 3.3 volts coming here. That's always enabled if there's power. Okay. So external 5 volts in. So this lets me switch the power on and off. So I'm going to need that, and actually do both of them. That one. Okay, I'm going to need those and these all controlled from the Pi. I don't want to do them via the I/O expander. I think I've lost everyone, haven't I? Okay, they need to be over there. Okay, so actually, and I also need that one. Well, that's going to have to go via... You just chilling? Okay. I'm going to need a divider on that. So many things. What is that? Oh, God, I haven't even changed all of these over. Well, a lot of these are using the wrong footprints. Anyway, 2K2. And default in. Okay. Whoop, rubbish man here. Oh, you can hear the rubbish man? Yeah. And the bin is full. The lid doesn't even go down. I'm surprised you're not knocking on the door saying the bin's over full, because you're not allowed to do it. No, I don't want to swap with you, thanks. I need to get this done. If I leave it for you to do, you'll never do it. Like the flex cable. Sorry. Okay, so that, and I'm going to need that. So the output for the fault checking from those chips are 5 volts. Although, hang on, are they active low or high? Yeah, so it's active low if it's a fault. So they're going to be sitting high at 5 volts all the time. So I need to bring them, oh, whoops. 3K3. I need to bring them lower. Yeah, so I'm going to need that and that. So that's 6 I need coming in. Okay, so I think that's all of that done. So whoop. I know it's an absolute mess. I should have done one and just duplicated it then, but oh well. Could have got them exact. Okay, so this is going to be .2 in, .2 set, .2. I could probably do one battery source and make sure that I don't test them at the same time. But I don't know what will happen with the charge IC if I do that on the boards. So I don't want to risk it. Oops, no, it's not one. Okay, so I've got flashing with ESD protection on them. I'll have to work out the LEDs afterwards. I've got battery switching and 5-volt switching with short detection on both of those. And then it's over here for now. I've got that's for that one, and that's for that one. They are my test points to get to the boards to do those things. Cold coffee. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm going to need an IO expander per board. I'm going to need just going to move that here. Do I need all? Yeah, I think I need all of these. So, well, not really. Because UART1 is connected to the GPS. So I can just talk to the GPS to see if it works. I don't need to test the pins. Let me just, I need to confirm or deny. Confirm or deny. Sorry. Running on very little sleep as usual. I wish I could show you this board. It's pretty cool. Just can't right now. So, don't open the wrong window. Okay, good. Good. Okay, GPS. Where's the GPS? No, first coffee still. I got no one here to make me another one. Shame. UART1. Yeah, I could just have the code talk to the GPS, send an AT command for hello, and if it gets it back, then I know the IO works. So I don't need these ones. So that leaves me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I still don't have 22. I still need one port each. But I can get rid of one connector. Oh, I don't have ground there. Okay, so power. Okay, maybe not. Maybe yes. I don't like only having the one, the one ground. I know they look weird, but there are test points there. I've got them, an X on them, so they don't populate. I don't want them to populate on the PCB. Whoops. Money, like, wait, where am I sending it power? Oops. I'm not actually sending it 5 volts anywhere. Yeah, I thought I could get rid of a connector, but I can't. That's stupid. Yeah, okay. I can't get rid of a connector. So, well, actually, I might leave them there. There's another ground. I need to find, there's another ground test point somewhere. Where have I left it? So these are all the BLE. So this is what I used to need for the BLE. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I needed 8 points just for the BLE testing. I don't need those now. And I don't need the LED one either. So, but I'm still going to need what test point is that? Test point 19. Where's TP19? Do I have it? TP19. No. Interesting. Okay. Test point 19, that's going to be dot 1, 5 volts in. And then TP8, that's one of the grounds, and so is TP5. TP5. What? Why is it finding all those TP5s? That's not right. TP5 is not IO0. Uh-oh, what have I done? IO0 is TP14. Where's TP14? Oh no. The schematic must have re-enumerated itself. It doesn't matter, because we'll wire it up. This is just a reference to know that I've got all of them, right? We can wire them however we want, like to whatever point. We just move the test point around. Test point 14. Oh, see, it's 15 here. Yeah, it's renumerated when I duplicated stuff. Oh, no. Okay, so back to TP5. Yeah, I'm just going to do 2 grounds. Okay, so I need to rename all these. These are all .1. So this is just checking that the 3.3 volt rail works. There's a second LDO. It sends 3.3 volts out of the board to a connected peripheral, but that gets turned on and off depending on what state the board is in. So that needs to be checked that it turns on and off. I need to check there's 2 parts to the GPS 3.3 volt rails. There's a main 3 point, and there's a critical that always has to be on, so the GPS keeps sync even if the board shut down or gone to sleep or powered down. The main board powered down, the battery still has to keep the GPS going. And then so I2C1 and I2C2. Hold on. I2C. I'm looking at the other schematic, which I can't show you. I apologize. I really do. I wish I could, but I don't have permission for that. I2C2 is for the IMU. We don't need I2C2. How am I going to check the interrupt as well? Because the interrupt, we're not actually using it. Oh, we are. But, okay, so I don't need to check these. I just need to check that I can talk to the IMU, right? Initialize the IMU, and if it works, then that's good. So I think I can still get rid of one. If I move there and I move this to here, I've got 2 grounds, 5 volts in. I can test the IMU interrupt just by setting the IO high and low, right, to make sure that works. I don't have to trigger it off the IMU. I just need to confirm that it's soldered correctly to the S3, to the module, and then I2C1 goes out the bottom of the board. So I can't check that. There's no connected peripheral. So I just have to check them as I/O, make sure they work. There's no easy way for me to check the output through the connector at the bottom of the board because it's a high density 1mm pitch connector, like 80 pin 1mm pitch connector. There's no way I can put little pogos in that to test them. So I'm going to have to test them just as I/O. And I don't know how I'm going to check the Hall effect sensor without manually putting a magnet there or not somehow. But that means that I don't need this one, J5 CR. So down to 4 connectors per board. That's good. That's really good. So still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 are, oh no, that's 13 because that's power. Actually, no, because that one and that one, yes. So 13, 12, 11. So 11, right. Still don't have enough on a single. Fine, that's okay. So I think this is gonna work. Oh, what are all these? They're not right. I don't need that. That's from my normal test jig. I'm not even using the interrupts. Okay, I'll have to clean all that up. I need more schematic space. I'm going to make a bigger schematic page setup. Why is it showing me in inches? I don't want no stinking inches. So the same size, but on the next size up. A2 schematic. Look at that. Whoa, how big is that? Crazy. Okay, so I need to rename these. Thank you for the flush. Wait, did I miss renaming some of these? Dot one. I missed that one. Dot one. One. Oh well, I didn't name them all. I got distracted. Dot one. Dot one. Okay. Dot two. Dot two. It doesn't matter how big this PCB is. It's sitting inside the bottom of the thing, right? And of course, for this particular board I need tested, the way I'm labeling all of this, these could be multi-purpose for anything, right? They could be test points that go to any points on any boards. Dot two. Okay, so it's that. Now I need to work out what circuit I need for these. Hang on, I need also, before I forget, wait. What have I forgotten? I need battery. Shit. back to 1 ground. Just for now, back to 1 ground. That's going to be dot 1 VBAT. I need to be able to give it VBAT, right? Oh no. And that's actually not a test point either. Why didn't anyone tell me VBAT? Called over optimizing early. Okay. There are other ways I can get ground to the board as well, and 1 ground might be enough. I don't know. I don't know. So INA 260. What do I need on it? New actually 260. Got them in my shopping cart at Mauser already. Have not bought them. They're just in the cart. There they are in my cart. So data sheet. What do I need? Well, trying to make it more readable for you. Address lines, alert, SDA, in, out, okay. I have an idea why Google keeps locking me out of YouTube, a mystery. I don't know, YouTube's being a naughty boy. Okay, is there a application circuit? Is there a general application circuit? Oh, really? Check out those fancy layouts. Okay. No. Typical application circuit. Really? Or did I miss it? Okay, I'm going to have to find someone who's already used it or something similar. Bug it if I'm going to guess. In. SolarWinds, the name, not the product. Okay, who does one? Who got a board with this? I bet you Adafruit do. Oh, look at that, Adafruit. Whoops. Well, I don't want that. I want what have they got? In bus address line, pull up, and a cap. Is that really? Is that all? Okay. Okay, so I just need, this will be, so it's the 5 volts that I'm measuring. I'll do the top one first. Okay. I'll do it up here. So I need, that's actually going to be the output. So that's going to to the board, and so I need a pre. What's that one? That should be dice 1 5-volt pre-INA. VBus, I'm just going to be running this off. Am I just running it off the same power, the same 5 volts? Or do I, no, I'll have to run it off 3.3 volts. Because, yeah, okay. I was going to look at that. Bring it over here. Copy. I hate schematics like this, but for the moment I don't care. And then I'm gonna need SQUiXL. Do I have pull-ups on these? No, I'm gonna need pull-ups at the pi. Okay. I hope there's no conflict of addresses. Device 1 INA alert. There's my duplicate. So the address lines, what do I need to do to set the address lines? Address A0, digital input, address pin, connect to ground, SCL, SDA, or VS. Table 2 shows the pin settings. So ground is that. Ground VS is that. So I think I'll just do that. Do I have to do them through resistors? Do I really? 0 bus address. Go to device master, slave byte to the slave address consists of 7. Set the desired address. The pin is possible. 16 of them you can use. Wow. Device samples the state pins. Okay. So it doesn't actually, does it state they need? I should just put them on anyway. Yeah, it doesn't state, but I'm going to put them on anyway. So I'm going to need, the bitch has got the wrong, no, it's got the right one. Excellent. Duplicate. So I'm going to need, these can both go to ground. What is that? No. There we go. Okay. Wow. Worst schematic stuff ever. Okay, so if they both go to ground, this will be address 0, and this will be, what is VS? What? What's VS? VS analog power supply input. Oh, then what's bus? Bus voltage monitor input. What? Oh. Oh, that would have been bad. So that's not right. Alright, I want that. It's monitoring that input. And this will just be 3.3 volts. Wow, that was close. Very close. Okay, so So I don't need any caps coming in. What have they got? I'm sure they had, on that land thing picture, they had massive caps there. B-bus, what is this? Place all bypass capacitors. Close. But they don't specify which bypass. What do you need? An Adafruit have what? Nothing. They've just got one cap here. And nothing on V-bus. But here they were showing something on V-bus. V-bus and on... Okay, so... Okay, just to be safe, I'm going to do that. I'll put 2 caps on just in case. Okay. So that's our current checking for DUT1, I believe. I hope. And then for DUT2. Yep, no, it doesn't show like, yeah, just 0.1. Yeah, I know. I've got it as a 1 right now, but okay. DUT2, 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 and then this will be, A1 had to be to 3.3 volts. I know it's upside down. Oops. What happened then? Upside down, I'll worry about it later. So that gives me 2 address lines. Oh, that's DUT12. Hang on. So that's going to have to be pre. And that's going to have to be pre. Okay. So the 5 volt switch on off goes through here and comes out DUT1 5 volts, which goes to the, wait, no. Now straight current paths to the vicinity of the INA ensure uniform current. Okay, wow. Let's do it for Cable TV company. We use a software package called SolarWinds to monitor the hidden units and all this. So speaking of SolarWinds, I used to when I had my animation company, where I used to have my office, around the corner there was a Vietnamese restaurant we used to go to all the time, and they were called New Winds. And it was both an interesting name and a literal result of eating there. So I thought I'd just share that. I need to blow my nose. I'm gonna just mute for a second if I can. Okay. Yes, new wind. It was okay. New wind. So it's not 5 volt in. What have I called it? .2. I'm sure I've stuffed up a name somewhere. Okay. LEDs, worry about later. So I guess I technically I should be doing, having a way of monitoring these alerts, right? I'm just right now putting all these labels here to know what I need to potentially put on the Pi, and make sure we've got enough I/O for it. There's no buzzer. Do I want to put a buzzer on it? I don't know. And this is 8. We label the last one to .2. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well spotted. Test ground to detect if something's there or not. Need that. Test 3.3 and test. They're probably going to be on the I/O expanders. So I duplicated all this, but I haven't actually wired any of these things up yet. And that was a bit stupid. I should have wired up the I/O expander first. Okay, I need I need pull-ups. Why is that not? Hang on. For SDA and SCL. Okay. We've got pull-ups. And alright, then my battery power enable. That one can go. So I've got enough I/O. Like there's all this blank ones you can see. Really need to clean this up. Unbelievable. I'll do this another time. Okay. Can't remember what soft power was for.
Cian, chat has disconnected.
Okay. Okay, so let me start looking at here. Okay, so those are not, so I need don't ask why they're all crazy like this. They just are. Ba-bum, ba-ba, ba-ba. Okay. It doesn't really matter what order I'm doing any of these in, as long as I make them the same. I need music. Oh my god. What? Copy. I copied them. I didn't move them. Where did they go? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Why would it do this to me? Why is my phone going nuts? Not my phone, I mean my watch. I did not move them. I copied them. Relabel the last one. Oh, that was the other one. Wait, that was from before. Okay. Oop. Try that again. I wish there was a multi-select and change option. No, there's no .3. .2. Bloody hell. I'm going to have dreams tonight. .1, .2, .1, .2, .1, .2, .1, .2. It's going to do my head in. You know what I should have done before I duplicated everything as well? Oh, damn it, I should have checked all of my footprints. I'm rushing everything right now. Rushing it all. Okay, they're good. I know they're good. Do I have a footprint on this package? Okay, well, I guess we'll see. Yep. Although I could probably... Yeah, I guess they're okay. These will be wrong. Of course they are. So... What? What is all this rubbish? Yes, I ripped these off my multi-board tester. I did. I already fixed these, maybe all of them. All the resistors. I did check these just then, didn't I? Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Cap. Yep. Okay. I still have to do those. Okay, they're going to be fine. So I check those. And no. Yep, they're fine. These will be fine. Yep. Don't know what I'm going to do with those, but okay, that's fine. So now I just need to check all the caps. So yes, they're both 0402 footprints, resistor and cap, but I have to specify, they have to have unique names for me for my pick and place. So the way the package names are put together, like I can't just have 1 microfarad cap. It needs to know what footprint the microfarad cap is, and because I could have a 1 microfarad 0402 and a 1 microfarad 0603 and a blah blah blah, and it needs to know which part I'm talking about, so it knows how to measure it and stuff when it's pick and placing it. And originally the way I did it was so you would think that a 1 microfarad cap 0402 cap on one brand and a 1 microfarad 0402 cap from another brand would always be the same, but they're not. They can be different sizes. Anyway, it's complicated. So I have to have a unique footprint for them. So I've just got C, L, R. Yeah, whatever. God, how was that for a overly complicated? Why did you waste my life telling me this? You know what? I'm going to go back and check all these later. Well, I can't actually. No, I can't, because I can't bring them into the board until I've done this. That sucks. I checked that one already. So that's not right. That should be 0603. And that should also be the same. 0603, that'll be 0402. You know, and these should really be 0603, but I don't want to do 1 microfarad 0603s. Shit. Unsure. I'll get back to you on that one. Oops. Oh, far out. Do I have a .2 USB power? I don't. I should clean this up beforehand. That was just too hard to grab. I'm actually using the power from these. I'm not using power. So why would I even put a cap on it? Can anyone answer that question for me? So these have to change. Yeah, but I'm not actually using the 5 volts on it. I'm using the 5 volts from this power jack. So yeah, it's like, oh, what happened to my... I moved this by accident. Anyway, I'll so I want to see 5 volts in and out. So I probably need one LED there, so I know I've got 5 volts coming in, and I want to see on the output of the switch when it's turned on or not. So when there's power, because that's what's, and then do I need to see it on the other side of the voltage check? Not really. Okay, so okay, they're my, oh wait, yeah, good. So I don't need, so then all I really need for the other LED, I don't need USB power ones here, but what I should have is 3.3 volt. I've already got one. Okay, I've already got an LED on 3.3 volts. So I can see when I got 3.3 volts, which comes off here. So I've got 5 volts and 3.3 volts on main power in, and then I've got an LED on the output of each of the load switches, so I can see if they're turned on or not. I don't really need one on the battery. I mean, it's maybe good for when I'm testing prototypes, but .2.2.2.2, and that's not 5 volt. So I don't need. Actually, that's not true. I need that. I am using USB power for the USB to serial converter. Okay, so I lied. I am going to be doing. I am. So that will be .power USB power, and so I'm going to stick one of those on. Might as well. Fine. So wow. You can see why I've been putting this off, right? Bloody hell. Bloody Nora. .1 USB power, .1 USB power, .1 USB power. Okay. Whew. So is that everything? I hope that's everything. These should all be good. Yeah. I don't know what I'm using those for. Okay. Okay. So yeah, this is going to be a mess. Oh, I should have deleted all of these when. Right, we're not, I think those ones are that one, we're not using those. I'm just deleting those because I don't want it to, if it's reused the ID. I don't want to. Yeah, I'm gonna remove things that I want to make sure it doesn't make a mistake on. So I've already got the power paths for one of them. That's going to have to get duplicate. Should I just grab? Oh, I should do that, shouldn't I? So I do. If I've got a layout that I like what I've just done here, right? This here, for instance, when I say that I like, that's okay, that's passable, is I'll often. I need space. Actually, I'm going to grab these. Just bear with me a second. Okay, I'm going to grab these and move them away just for now. This board's not going to be big enough. So what I'll do is I'll grab these, right? Maybe not that one. And I'll group it. And I'll duplicate it. Actually, I shouldn't have grouped it. It doesn't matter. I'll ungroup it now. Yeah, I didn't want to group it because I need to easily. I'll leave it grouped for the moment, and then I just need to go and check that I need to go rename them all to be the .1. So that's I see 4A and 4B. I mean, this might be stupid for me to do. I don't know. So that's 4. If I go and rename them all, then I can keep C21, C2. This might just be a bad idea. This can take forever. Nah, stuff it. Delete. Okay. That 3.3 volts is going to be. If you need more dots, you can just go dot. What? Okay, let's just see what happens. Oh. Which ones? Oh, right. Is it the test points? It's probably having a heart attack with the test points. But I want to see what the issues are. I don't want to annotate them. I could always do it and then do it. Okay, C4 and TP14. C4. How funny. C4 is going to blow up my schematic. I've got C4. There's one there. Okay, so why don't you fix it for me? I know there's an error, so fix them. Oops, didn't mean to do it. Double C. Okay. Now C30. Huh? And now C30's gone. TP14. Well, because they are both .0. Yeah, it's gone and just changed all the freaking names. I don't care. Whatever. I'm just going to. I don't care anymore what they are. Jesus. KiCad. Oh. J13. What's J13? Whatever. Let's just see what happens. Oh no! Look at all that. Oh. Bloody hell. I hate that. I hate this. I hate doing PCBs. Hate it, hate it, hate it.
Matt says now the fun begins.
Yeah, not fun. Not fun. So, why is that? Looks like it's sticking out further. Okay. The other thing I do sometimes is I'll go, no, I said I'll duplicate that. You nudge it so it's locked. And let's say I'll put it here, whatever, right? And I'll lock it. It doesn't matter what they are. And now, when I grab the new parts, where is the other CP? 20. Oh, here, right? I'll lay them over the top so I can get them in the same spot, just so my things look neat, if I want it to look neat, that is, right? And then I can just grab the group behind it and delete it afterwards. So I grab these. Oh, man. Yeah, it's just makes it quicker to kind of lay things out. Sometimes you can't get it exact. Depends on, how it was done. But neatness sometimes is important. Okay, what else is there? Should be another battery connector. Where's the other battery connector? Oh, wait. J10, J8. Where's J10? J10. Oh. It already did it because I duplicated it. Oh, that's annoying. I can't. Okay, I removed that from group. Oh, man, I don't know. That's dot 1, so that'll be dot 2. Which one's dot 1? Dot 2. Dot 2. Oh, I didn't put a thing for the barrel jack. Well done, Sion. Oops. Grab all the, what is that? Grab all these. Edit. Change text graphics properties. Selected items. Other footprint items. Oops. Visible. Off. Apply. Okay. Oh. So why did that? That's interesting. They've got in the middle and that one doesn't. Whatever. Okay. It's all the friggin' caps. They're gonna get me. Caps and resistors are gonna take forever. Why are they on the side? What the hell? We're gonna need a much bigger board, Jim. Much bigger board. This is down here with the power. Where's that barrel jack? That's right. I needed to get a footprint for it, didn't I? I don't have a footprint. I need their footprint. Which board is going to be on? I don't know which board it's going to be on. gonna have to change it later. For now, I'm just have to do it whatever. Barrel jack. It looks like one of those, but you know what? I'm just gonna do that for now. It looks like this, kind of, but not quite that one. Whoa, big, big. That's huge. Huge barrel jack. Okay, it's those and those. These are gonna take forever. Forever. Okay, .2 USB power. Why is that over there? It's not even supposed to be visible. Go away. You're drunk. .2 USB power. I'll do. Okay. You can all piss off. .2 battery in. Wait, I've got .2 battery in. Oh, they .1. .1. Oh no. .2, but it thinks these are .1. Shit. Thinks that's .2. Oh no. .2. Uh-oh. So KiCad's mixed them up because of the way I just duplicated them all. Okay, this is a mess. .1. John, hello. Catch up on the first 2 hours later. All good. How are you? I hope you're well. What a freaking mess. .2. Right, and they're not right. Oh, Jesus. Okay, .1. All of you. You and all of you. And you. You are all going away up here. Damn it. Okay, .2. I'm so annoyed. So annoyed. Lock away. Oop. I couldn't do it watching it out of order. Wait, that's .1. That should be up there. No, that should be there. And that should be .2. What number is .2? Oh, 8. What a pain. Absolute friggin' pain. .2, okay. Wow. Not happy, Jan. Hello, Tom Story 96, Chile, UK. Sorry to hear. 2 VBAT out. Whoop. That 2 VBAT in. Oh boy. Great, they're both. They're LEDs. Move them over there for now. Hang on. That one and that one. That one and that one. You can go over here. You're part of that crew. Wow, look at all this. Coming to Australia, you better leave it longer than a couple of weeks because it is cold and rainy here as well. You need to wait till the weather improves, I think. Cool. Okay. Whereabouts in Australia are you going to be hanging out? .2, .2, .2, .1, .1, .2, .1, .2, .2. Okay, they're all .2. Okay, the pull-ups. They can go over here. Address line. Let's just do that one. .1, .1. What are they for? We'll find out soon enough. Address line 1, address line 0. Oh, I didn't relabel those. That's going to be a problem. I think I'm missing an address line. Okay, I need to come back to here. Yeah, I didn't. So this should be 1 reset. Should be int 1A and 1B. Oh, they actually will be already. Oh, hang on. Okay, wait. They're already indexed at 0. Okay, that's fine then, maybe. Hey Dave, how you doing? So where's the other address line? There should be some other. There should be 3 address lines per. 81, 2. R21, 2, R23, 24, 25, 26. R21, 2, 3. There's no 4, 5, 6. Where are 4, 5, and 6? Or did I not put a footprint on them? Oh my god, I missed some. Oh, Sion. I wonder how many I've missed now. Do you all have the expression bloody Nora? Bloody Nora? I can't remember where it's from. I can't explicitly say it's an Aussie thing, because it might not be. Okay, there we go. Just 111s. These are over here. Or some of them. No, they should all be over there. Okay. Wow. Normally I do this 2 screens, right? But then you can't see it if I do it 2 screens. So it's why I'm doing it all on one and keep switching between, which slows me down a little bit, but okay. Whoops. What have I done there? Where's the ground? That's annoying. Better. Okay. 0, 0. I don't know if I can. Will they all line up next to each other? Not really. Not really. Align horizontally, center. Okay. And I don't know if I need the reset on them or not. Unsure. As in on the MCP. John, do you ever use MCP? There's 23017s. Do you ever need to toggle the reset on them? Zero. Yes, I'm just trying to get them the same. Because I am. Just realized they're not going to line up. That'll do. I haven't needed to after start up, no. Right. The reset line out somewhere convenient just in case. Well, that's what yeah, on my test jigs, I've got the same thing, but I haven't done that on this. Not at the moment, but yeah. So where are the big caps for these? Where'd they go? I did them 0402s. Still not sure. One there. Where's the other one? C28. Where's C27? Oh, all the way over there. Just grabbed it by accident. .2 5 volts in. Okay. So they belong with this. And then the other two, 26 and 24. There's one. And there's one there. Wow. What are you doing all the way over there? Oops. And 24. Okay. .1 fault in. Where's the other half of that? Ah. It's over there. Should unlock this. Oh, ungroup it. Unlock it first. Ungroup it. Okay, fault. What's happening here? Fault? They're not right. Right, it's renumbered. It's relabeled these things on me. .1 fault, .1 fault, and .1 fault in. There's not three of them. Bloody, the schematic has absolutely, so I got two there. Where's the other one? R6, R5, and what's R8? See, look, you see what it's done? Bloody hell. KiCad's just wrecked the schematic for me. Funny thing, I opened the stream to watch while working on code for test jig for Hall limit sensors for water cannons. Yeah, I need to. This is a tester for a client board, and it's too far left of my current test jigs, and it's too specific for his setup for me to use anything else really. See, R8 is not this, so why? What errors? Where's there an R8 maybe? Okay, the shields are fine. Cannot add C6 and C9. C6 and C9. C6. See, it jumps and sometimes it doesn't jump. Where's C6? Okay, C6. Why can't it add C6 and C9? Okay. Right, I didn't change those. I don't even know if I need those. I'm just going to get rid of them. Okay. Removed net test 3. Yeah, they're fine. So then it's just the warnings. What are these warnings? So no net found for J9, MP, by connected unknown net. No RC1, no pin 11 in symbol. Love me a test PC stream. So no pin in what? 11 and 14. 11 and 14. How can there be no 11 and 14? There's no 11 and 14. What pins are 11 and 14 on this? Jesus, what the hell? Oh no, I need the SS one. But okay, anyway. Oh, go Mauser. Wow, that's fast. Go internet. Google search. I just want the data sheet. Give me a freaking data sheet. Anyone. Where's it? Oh my god. Where's it? Can I just have a data sheet? Wait, there was said data sheet at the bottom. What'll do? This'll do. Come on. Data sheet. Okay, pin 11. 11 and 14. Not connected, not connected. Ah. Not connected, not connected. They should still be in the symbol. They should still be there and just marked as not connected. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Electrical is connected. And 14, wasn't it? I just want to make sure that it hello Art Daniel. Oh, JF, hello JF. How you doing? Update. Oh, now I've got 14 errors. Oh, that's those ones again. But now I've got no. Okay, they're all warnings. So connected pin, unconnected pad. Okay, so I have to just do that on the other one as well. That's annoying. Actually, do I have this in file save as? Where was this? No, it just doesn't matter. Let's do it again. I don't want to stuff around with making a new symbol library right now. Can't be bothered. Edit symbol. Eleven not connected. Okay. So now those warnings, another 2 warnings should be gone. So now J13, J12, J9. What's J13? I must have mixed up my USB. Symbols at some point. You're okay today. What happened a different day that you weren't okay? I mean, don't mind me prying. I'm not trying to, but goes there. I'll go there. What is this one from? Over here. There, obviously, the address lines, which I didn't label them, and this could just be anything. Probably here. C8. Yes, it is. C8 and C11. Okay. I should really be good to myself and label these address pins. Was it INA to address 0, address 1, Gate. John, Tech Noodlist suggested, like when I started doing this at the start of the stream, he asked me why I wasn't going to use your Test-O-Matic. I don't know what you're up to. I saw bits of a stream a couple of weeks ago. You were working on it. Yeah. I need to get this done rapidly, so I don't really have enough time to look at doing Test-O-Matic. And then I need to be able to wrangle this to be a whole bunch of different boards. I have a board I need to design that, not design, I've got a board that I need a tester for that's got 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 INA 260s on it. I need to check 17 power rails individually, as well as other things like IO and stuff, and need to be able to flash an MSP 430 via it as well. Yeah. Okay. So I'm okay. I hate doing board layout under pressure. It takes ages doing Test-O-Matic because I'm doing a lot of groundwork, make it extremely flexible. Yeah, that's the thing. The more flexible you try to make it, the longer it takes to get a solution that can be done. That's why I never bothered. Like, I had like 3 or 4 different ideas and started working on different things for my test jigs to make them more universal, more whatever. And every time I just scrapped it. It was just easier to have the dedicated solution for it. I don't know where this is all going to go. I really need to solve one stream of all this. Yeah, it's massive. It's doing test jigs is just doing a dedicated test jig is hard, right? Lots of revisions, iterations, whatever. But doing a something that's more generic, or something that does a real stack of different things. I mean, yours Test-O-Matic does way more than my standard test jig does, right? But I've got a very specific thing that I need to do, which is fine. But yeah, I couldn't imagine trying to come up with here's a test jig kind of framework that anyone can use for all sorts of things. Yeah. No. I don't think I'd want to take that on at all, ever. 5 volts in. So they're going to need big freaking caps. I don't think I'm going to be able to get away with This one here. Mind if I post URL for anyone to... Oh, of course, go for it. Yeah, yeah. Do you all know what Testomatic is? For those that are still listening, when we're talking about Testomatic, so John has been working on... John Oxer, Superhouse TV, has been working on a pretty cool kind of modular device test board. Oh, here we go. That you can plug in modular cards and stuff for testing boards, right? For testing, but not like, I mean, I guess you could do little microcontroller boards like what I do, but for testing up, really complex things like power and... Where'd that window go? Open in a new window. It's not opening. Right, here it goes. So yeah, it looks like it's got, acrylic housing. You see it's got test points, fixtures, which you can swap in and out. Raspberry Pi at the front with a touch screen. Way more developed than this Pix. Different modules standardized on things to do different things. So like, for voltage checking or for, controlling things. It's pretty cool. And there's obviously writing all the firmware for it and stuff. It's, do you have any current pictures? I know it's like evolved, and they've got like receipt printer, thermal printer there that you can print out reports and stuff. It's very cool. It's, I guess the proof is going to be, John, for like, it's one thing for you to be tweaking, designing it for your use cases, but when it's kind of ready, right, for you, it's all open source, right? But I'm saying if it'll be interesting to see if someone makes one, how quickly they can adapt it for what their use case is, right? How many custom bits do they have to add to it and then potentially write firmware for or whatever to be able to then test in their use case? And the biggest problem with test boards is you don't know what your use case is until you're already testing. Like, it's one thing to come up with most things. Like, I think I've covered almost everything for this, right? Almost. But I don't think so. Like, I'm sure there'll be things I've missed or I'll have to change. And it'll be interesting how many things they have to do to get that changing, right? I mean, there's a reason why companies go to, people like, what are they called? Red Ant or, Redback, whatever they're called. That Australian test company that does test jigs and test things. There's a reason why they go to companies like that and end up paying $20,000 for a testing rig, right? Because it really, really takes a long time to put together a full suite of testing hardware and software. It just does. It's horrific. Horrific. Been going for 2.5 hours. Oh my God. On one coffee. I don't even know why I've got this PCB outline here, because it's not a chance in hell. Just moving out of the way. Yeah. So oh God, I don't have the I don't think I've got the patience to do this right now. Where's all the rest of those caps? They're LEDs. So where are these ones? Did I not change the footprint? I did. So where are these? Ah, over there.
Cian, Chad has disconnected.
Oh, POQ. Fault. Oh. What have I done down here, over here? Did I fix this? I don't think I fixed this. I still got R8, which is still .1 fault, which is not right. Oh, it is .1 fault to 5 volts. Well, then where's the oh, I see what I've done. I've put a divider here, but I've already got half the divider there. Well, actually, no, I don't. I see what this is. Jesus Christ almighty. Sorry, swearing. But that is just a pull-up on it. Wow. 2 coffees and 2 whiskeys. Thanks for sharing. And then, so that and that will be the divider. Except, where's the other one? Oh, that is highlighted. Is that highlighted? Yeah, okay, so their divider. Wow, okay. What a mess. Okay, that's a mess. Oh, really? Has anyone noticed how much I'm struggling right now? I need to get caffeinated, I think. Wow. Wowee. I'm really struggling. Test ground. That's gonna go all the way to here. Yeah, you belong over here. Okay, so where are these other test ones? So we've got 1 coffee, 1 Coke Zero, and 1 berry shake. Berry shake? Where'd you get a berry shake from? What's a berry shake? Talk to me. Tell me. What's a berry shake? As in, like from a McDonald's type. Is that a berry? I don't. Like, I'm asking legitimately. Because that sounds yum. Whatever it is. Oh my god. Pick the component. Oh, you made it. Just frozen berry mix, some milk, some cream, cherry. Oh, yum. Yum. Yeah, okay. Yes, please. Can I put an order in? Okay. Okay. Something like this. Something like that. And then, okay, what are these? Dot reset. I don't know where did I I don't know what that was. Do I even have that hooked up? I don't. Interesting. Why don't I have that hooked up? Yeah, okay. Something like that. And then what else have I got? I just want to get all these stray things. Battery power enable. And what's the other one that's up here? Power enable and 0.1 and 100k. Okay. That's why I turn these off normally. I don't care what they are. I normally just piss them off because yeah, okay. not as neat. I need to clean that up. So I've got, that's 3V here, and there should be a .usb power. Where's the .usb power? Ooh, there it is. Google's cherry nostril bar. Oh my god, I want a cherry ripe now. Yeah, I love cherry ripes. Love cherry ripes. Yum. But the dark chocolate cherry ripe. Oh, amazing. Okay, so that looks like, no, I'm missing, what are these? Oh. Pre and post, oh, right, they're not being used anymore. Those are pre-INA. Yep. And, oh, these ones here. Right, so that, they now belong over here. That's 5 volts in. That's my LEDs for 5 volts in. So what are these? That's LED for, one of these is for 3 volts. No, that's for dot. Okay, so this one here. Right, why are they both .1? Oh, that's .2. Yeah, they're wrong. Goes there. That's something like that. And that can go. Okay, and the other LED, that must be the 3.3 volt LED. Okay, so that's, I know that's all over the place, but that's kind of where, that's everything grouped together, except these up here, they're not being used anymore. Not, I'm going to zap them because I can always put them back in, but this whole section here is gone now because that was going to the S3, which is no longer there. So, wow. I've got to work out how this is going to sit inside the unit, where the USB is going to come in, where the power is going to come in. Okay. So these don't have to be anywhere near, like they can be over here. What? Why are they locked? Oh, that's right, because yeah, all right. So power. I'm not sure if I want the batteries there. And the power has to be, I think I just want to separate these more. As I said, I don't really have a size problem for, I don't have a size problem for the board. They're all .2. But clean them up. So there's only 4 grams carbs. You can just eat 6 of them. Funny. Yeah. I've been struggling with my food. Yaz made a whole big batch of what are they called? Shit, like those chocolate coconut ball things. I can't remember what they're called. Whatever they are. And oh my god, they're just so good, so good that I'll like go to the fridge. We keep them in the fridge. They're just really nice when they're cold and kind of hard. And I'll go to the fridge and I'll take one, take a bite, and the next thing I know, I've stood there and I've taken like 7 or 8, and I've just eaten them all. And it's so not good, so not good. Yeah, I have no self-control at all at the moment with my food. I have no idea what that's, although that's where it was. Okay, so they're kind of the groups. Rum balls, yeah, but without the rum. But yes, like rum balls. She just doesn't obviously put the rum in them because kids. But I should have just fully designed one board and then just duplicated it. Anyway. Okay, so it's the wrong barrel jack, but 5 volts in. It goes to a bunch of caps. I thought about sticking a fuse, like a little fuse or something on it, but I don't know if we're really going to need it. Okay. Yes, it. Look at that power management. My God, that's so funny. Yeah. Yeah, look at this. And a little tiny LED. Oh my God. It's been going for almost 3 hours. I'm gonna stop in a few minutes. I don't know if I can keep doing this just right now. Whoop. Look at this little tiny so my LDO, the whole circuit for my LDO and the caps is smaller than a 1206. That can't be right. Maybe I chose the wrong size. Change footprint. I think I did. Oh, they're the wrong size. Oh. No. They're the right size. That's actually 1206. Catch you later, Bruce. Yeah, that's actually 12. So I mean 1210. That's actually 1210. Right. So it is. It's bigger than my whole thing here, which is just insane. Okay, something like that. And then 3.3 volts coming out. Yeah, I'll do proper copper pours for them. I promise I will. I promise. So where's that other cap? I'm missing. So where's the cap? Other cap. That one. Where's C20? No, where's the other cap? C25. Right, you need to be over here. Along there. Okay, and we have LED. Whoop. Okay. Except I need 3.3 power all the way over here. So I guess they're still going to be on this side somewhere. Okay. Maybe I can just get them closer. I'm totally guesstimating right now. I'm just trying to work out roughly before I start routing or before I start valid. Yeah, like I want to have a rough idea where it's all going to be, and then I need to head it to the pi, and I'm not sure where that should go. Not sure. But that's basically the gist of the board is going to be like that. So we've got USB in, 2 different devices that are being tested via serial, via UART. They're going to go out to test points. I've got two eye expanders via SQUiXL that are going to be going out to test points. And I've got my battery switching here, my 5-volt switching, and my current detection on each one with the battery input and the 5 volts in. I mean, that's it, really. It doesn't look like much now. And then everything will get controlled via Python on the Pi. That's, yeah, here's a test ground. Okay. Well, I'm not going to start yet. Wait, I still feel like I'm missing some components, but I don't think I am. I don't think I am. Address. Right, I have to solve what I'm doing for the caps here. Oh, QV. Got those, I got those. Right, so that's going to change. That's not going to be like that. Okay. That's it. I'm stopping for now. Okay. Whew. Wow. I might be able to get this routed by the end of the week and get a board sent off. I don't care how ugly it looks. I guess the big question is, do I bite the bullet, add more connectors, footprints, and wire up every IO expander port, even though I'm not using them? that way they're there for anything else that wants to get used. Because this board could get used just for a single connection to something. This has got 2 because there are 2 on a panel. But there are other boards I'll be doing that's only got 1 on there, or there might be more. If I've got extra ports, I might as well. How many extra ports have I got? How many extra ports? I mean, I don't have that many. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. John, what was that bug with the... I don't know if you're still here, John. Was it the last port of the B? The last B one didn't work? Was it? I think something like that. Yeah. No, I'll do them with connectors, so we can just plug straight in, and then it's just a firmware change. Yeah, it's... I mean, these... You probably missed it. I'm looking at using these, John, and they're quite expensive. These are originals. I'm using these Wago SMT 2.54 millimeter pitch push-in. So that way we can just stick wires. We can stick DuPont wires in on one end that have got test pins on the other end and put them anywhere we want. I know I can get cheaper ones, like fake ones. Yeah, these are like $3 or $4 each. So, I mean, at the end of the day, sure, if I put another $10 worth each on a board, it doesn't really matter. But I also don't have that many here. I've probably only got enough for 1 test board if I do that right now. Anyway, just Jig, you don't need to optimize for cost. No, I don't. And the client doesn't need me to optimize for cost either. But yeah, I think I'll break them out as well. I might just leave the last port empty just in case. There was something about it. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. Big yawn. There was something about that port. I remember from one of your streams like a year ago, I think maybe. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for watching, everyone. That's right. Yeah, it was a silicon bug, but it was something about it couldn't be an input. Maybe you could use it as an output, but it couldn't be an input. But it was only if you had all the ports in use. It was something like that. I might just leave it not connected anyway, just in case. Which then gives me still an extra 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's one more connector. An extra 4. 4 points per test area that I can test with. So, okay, yeah, it's worth doing it. Thanks for joining, everyone. Those of you stuck around. I'm sorry that wasn't that exciting. Lots of me moving the schematic around and copying and pasting and then fixing, whatever. But yeah, at least I got that portion done. I'll try to get it routed for the end of the week, or I'll have a go at it later today. Like watching me solve problems. I'm not solving any problems here. I'm just this is such basic work. This is just anyway. But thanks though. Thank you very much. Okay, bye everyone. Look after yourselves. I will catch you all next week. Have a fun week. Bye.